This is the team I used at my first Kingdom Cup at SF State, and since this month is basically Game of Thrones themed with ice, fire, dragon, and steel types, I got more creative than usual with my nicknames. If you'll humor me, Altaria as Daenerys is pretty simple as a dragon that's basically the queen of Great League. She often wears blue with her silver hair, like that iconic scene with the Unsullied when she orders Dracarys, which is High Valyrian for fire, hence the Blaziken name. Her green dragon is Rhaegal, which made Flygon's name an easy choice. Lapras is basically a fish, which is the sigil of the Tullys. With Lucario being a canine that's crazy strong, I went with Rob's Direwolf Greywind, that was fierce in battles. And lastly, since I didn't have a Bastiodon ready, I have Frostlass that is Ghost and Ice type and actually resembles the Night King with the horns, but since he can only be female, it's the Night Queen. And after all that thought, I ended up with a first round bye, meaning I had to wait to see who I'd face. So Alan's my first opponent, and with his team I felt mostly safe with Lapras as a lead. I wanted to deal with Altaria mostly, and then I have Flygon and Lucario in there to deal with his Bastiodon and Lapras. And he goes with Bronzong, which I don't have a lot of experience with, but I know I can do neutral damage with my water attacks, and I would resist his steel charge moves. So I hit it with Surf, and I'm doing good damage now, so he's going to switch out. And the mirror match isn't great for me since I'm only at half health. And I don't know why I went for Surf even there, because I just needed to switch to Lucario to deal with his Lapras. Needed a shield because Lucario is super frail. And then I'm going to get to a power-up punch for super effective damage and the attack boost. He doesn't shield there, so Lapras is out. He comes with the charge move ready, but I know I can resist whatever he has. And I finish it off with just counters. And I have a power punch ready, but Blaziken knocks me out right away. But I'm in good position with Lapras. I just need to get to a Surf, and I barely do before his counters hit me. So that's one shield down, and I have my Flygon left with one shield myself. I have to use it right away. And I'm going to try and get to Dragon Claw super fast with Mudshot. Put some pressure on this last shield, but Mudshot's actually super effective, so I surprisingly able to knock it out with just that. Then I thought he might go with Lucario to lead against my Lapras, so I decided to go with my own Lucario. I could have went with Blaziken or Altaria, but I was afraid of he's stuck with Bronzong, and it is the mirror match. We're both going to hit each other ridiculously hard and fast. I actually get to my power punch first, and he decides to use his shield, and that makes me use my shield, I guess because I didn't want to fall behind about what comes out next and switch advantage, but we end up just knocking each other out simultaneously. I go with Flygon to put some shield pressure on, and then he goes with Lapras, which isn't a great matchup for me, but I can get to Dragon Claw crazy fast. Does decent damage, and then I get to another one, and he, I guess, is waiting for an Ice Beam, so that's why I use a shield. But it's actually Surf, which would have hit me pretty hard also. And then I get to another Dragon Claw and force out that last shield of his. And then he's going to get to another Surf to knock me out as expected. But I'm in okay shape with Lapras in the mirror match. I can just farm energy and knock it out with Water Gun. I do have to take a Surf, which isn't great, but it doesn't hurt too much. And I'm all charged up for whatever comes next, and Blaziken will go down with one Surf. GG. My next opponent, Mushroom King, actually has another Bronzong. Instead of the Steelix, he had to tell everyone he forgot to update his team. Because he has 3 steel types, I'm going with Flygon and Lucario. I'm afraid of his fire types for Luke. That's why I'm going to bring Lapras as well and leave with Flygon as the safest option. And it's Bastiodon, which is a great matchup for me because Flygon completely walls it. And I'm going to shield bait with Dragon Claw first after I charge up the Earthquake, and that forces out the first shield. And now I'm actually going to go with the Earthquake, and he decides not to shield, and I knock him out. And then here's the Lapras I was worried about, but I already have a Dragon Claw charged again, and that actually burns the last shield. And I'm getting close to an Earthquake, so I'm going to shield here. It's my first one. And then Earthquake's going to hit it pretty hard, honestly more than I expected. And now I'm in good shape with Lucario to knock it out. Well, he switches first. And then against Bronzong, I could have went Shadow Ball, honestly, but Power Punch is neutral and gets the attack boost. And then I get another punch off to finish it. And then his Lapras has a Surf ready, but I still have one more shield. And then just one hit to knock it out. For the next battle, I was worried he might switch up to Lapras lead against my Flygon, so I just changed up my order to Luke first. I'm still worried about the fire type, so I have to be ready to switch right away to Lapras if that is what he leads with. but it ends up being Bronzong. So we obviously just saw this matchup, but this time he has 2 shields. So I'm going to go with the Power Up Punch first to try and get the shield out and get the attack boost. He takes it, and then his confusion is actually hitting me harder than I remembered the first time, so I have to just go for a punch again, and that one does draw out a shield. Then I decided to use mine to match that, but it's another simultaneous knockout, kind of silly on my part. So we're at even strength, and I decided to go with Flygon here to apply shield pressure again. And he goes with Marowak, which is a fine matchup for me. And then I'm close to an Earthquake, but I decided to shield bait with Dragon Claw, and it works to get his last one out. He switches to Lapras, but with no shields, we know how much damage Earthquake's going to do. And then I'm actually able to get another Dragon Claw off. He said he was just about to hit a Surf, so that was pretty disappointing for him. And then it's Marowak. I decided to just shield here and then try and press my lead, but he gets another Bone Club off because he had a couple charge, but I am able to get one more Dragon Claw off to do some more damage before I go out. Then I'm in a good position with Lapras. I mean, he's able to get to a Shadow Ball pretty fast, but my water moves will take it out before he gets to another one, so that's this round done. And then my next opponent is I'm Too Salty For You. And he has almost the same team as me, but with Steelix instead of Frostlass, which makes him a little more weak against Lucario. So I'm going to lead with that, and then bring in my Altaria for his fighting types, and then Lapras for his Altaria, and Steelix in case I don't get with Lucario. And then he ends up leading with Altaria, which isn't a great matchup for me since flying resists counters, but I also resist its Dragon Breath, so I'm going to charge up and then switch out. And then that brings out his Lucario, but I at least got my Surf charged up in time to put some shield pressure on. And then I'm just going to let Lapras die since this is a bad matchup for me. And my switch clock still has a lot of time left so I can do another one. So I waited out for a sec and then go with Altaria as the clear counter. And then he's going to get to another Power Up Punch, but I can still take one even though it's boosted since I resist it. And I get a Sky Attack off to finish it off because he doesn't use his last shield. And he brings out his Altaria that has a Sky Attack ready, so I have to use my first one. And then we wear each other down with Dragon Breaths. And then he gets another one first because of charge priority, so I have to use my second shield to get mine off. And that burns his last shield as well. And then he only has a little bit of health left, and I have my Power Up Punch ready to go, so knock it out and get the attack boost. So against his Lapras, I'm going to take it out before it can get a Surf off, luckily. Now I'm going to swap out Lapras for Frostlass as a harder counter to his Altaria. And since he led with it first, I'm going to lead with mine, see how the mirror match goes, since it went my favor pretty much the last time, and that's what it is to start. So we're going to wear each other down with Dragon Breaths again, and this time I have the charge priority and get the Sky Attack, it looks like. And then I've shield his to match what he did. And now that he has one shield down, I'm going to switch to Frostlass, and then that scares him out into Lapras, but Shadow Ball still hit it pretty hard for neutral damage. It'll take out about half his health there. I can survive one Surf, so I'll save a shield, and then barely get to another Shadow Ball to knock him out. And then I'll do a little bit of damage to his Altaria, but I only last one Dragon Breath. Then I make a little bit of a mistake thinking I can knock it out with my Altaria's Dragon Breath, but he has a Sky Attack ready to go. I probably should have shielded there even, and then he comes out with his Lucario against mine. I get my Power Up Punch first, and then just about knock it out, but I have to use my last shield against his Power Up Punch, get it with a counter, and then one more boosted counter knocks out Altaria, luckily. In the finals against Kanaku, I'm worried about his Alolan Marowak, so I'm going to lead with Altaria, and then bring both Lucario and Flygon to deal with his Bastiodon. That's such a hard counter to Altaria. And then he leads with Lapras, which is not a good start for me either, but at least it's not an Ice Shard Lapras, so I have a chance if I play my shields right. I get to my Sky Attack first, because I'm assuming he's charging up for Ice Beam, but I just fell for a shield bait with Surf. I am going to get to another Sky Attack though, so I at least get him to burn his second shield actually. And I get something out of this matchup at least, so I'm just going to let Altaria faint at this point, save the shield for Lucario and Flygon since they're both squishy. And then Luke knocks it out pretty quick, gets some charge going. But with the switch glitch, I just went to Flygon in this better matchup anyway, even though I could have got to a Shadow Ball. I kind of forgot he had shields down and made a mistake with his Dragon Claw, but it worked out because now I have energy saved up after using the shield to get to an Earthquake right away and knock out his Lucario before any more damage is done. And then he's going to knock out my Flygon, but at least make him use some energy. And then I have Lucario ready to go before he can do anything, and there's the Shadow Ball. Now I'm going to lead Luke after Altaria last time. I'm expecting Lapras or Bastio in response, and it is Bastio. I know he's going to switch right away, but I make a mistake of not doing any damage. I can take some Dragon Breaths that I resist and maybe even get a Power-Up Punch, but I go right to Lapras and didn't take advantage of it. I should have shielded that probably, and I really should have tried shield baiting like he did to me last time, but thought he might be expecting that, and then instead I have to use a shield now or else I'm dead meat. And I'm at least going to make him burn his second shield, but I really should have won this matchup. Instead, he has about a fourth of his life left. And knowing that he has Bastille in the back, I probably should have went with Luke here to finish it off with that Power Punch ready. Instead, I knock it out with Dragon Breath after taking that Sky Attack and have him charge, but then here comes the Bastille. So I switch right away to Luke, and then I maybe even should have saved that Power-Up Punch, because now he has his Luke with the switch advantage, and then it's left to Bastio and Altaria after the simultaneous knockout, and I'm totally walled here. Nothing I can really do. I mean, maybe Dragon Pulse would have made a difference, but not really. I definitely wasn't thinking ahead from the beginning. Once I got that lead advantage, Kanaku totally outplayed me. He's one of the best in the Bay Area for a reason. So now I'm going to lead with Lapras as kind of a safe choice, and then after a lot of debate, I decided to switch Altaria for Flygon because of that Bastio matchup, and then it's the mirror match. I don't have great IVs on this Lapras, but I'm going to see how it plays out. I do have Charge Move priority, so I get the Surf off first, and then obviously he's going to take his. And we're going to go back and forth, and I was thinking about switching which I'd charge up, but then I accidentally hit the charge move ahead of the switch button. So now I'm just going to eat another Surf because I don't want Lucario to take it. And then I'm going to knock him out with just counter. And then I do something I don't normally do and just hit whatever's coming in next, but it's Marowak, which double resist Power-Up Punch. I do get the attack boost, but I could have just waited for a Shadow Ball. Instead I have to use my shield here. And then I'm going to get to the Shadow Ball, but he knows it's coming based on how long the charge took, so he shields it. And at this point, I'm just going to let Lucario go down because of this bad matchup. And then I have a tough choice of which advantage to press here. But I chose the wrong one because I forgot how little health Lapras has. So I barely survived a Bone Club. And then I am going to get off Surf, but I should have anticipated Lucario as his last Pokemon. And he gets a little bit of energy from that last counter. And then Flygon does not win this matchup. I do have to shield the first Power Punch or else I'll just get knocked out by his counter damage, but I'm not going to get to an Earthquake in time. GG to Kanaku. And I actually finished third because that bye the first round hurts my tiebreaker, but it's a good first experience at the Kingdom Cup, and thanks for watching.